Welcome into hour number 3 of Josh and thank you for being with us on this President's Day holiday. We have another hour to go. 865-656-9900 to join us. And Swain, no telling exactly how much time to go until we find out what's going to happen with Joey Aguilar following his case, or his hearing, in his case on Friday in seeking one more year of eligibility.
For the players, you are moving as if he's not going to be, granted that eligibility. And, everyone has a job to do. You hear Bill Belichick all the time when he was there with the Patriots talk about doing your job. Well, that's the only responsibility you have right now if you are a player on this team is how are you using these, next 6 months, 5.5 months to be the best player individually you can be to help your team win. So Joey has his deal that he's working through, and you support him as a teammate because Joey is on this football team because of the temporary restraining order. But, you got to control what's in your hands. And for the players on this team, that's going to class, that's taking care of your body, taking care of your mind, spiritually being where you need to be so that way you can be best version of yourself. So whether it's today or tomorrow or next week, Joey's eventually going to get an answer. And when he does, the work will continue.
We'll see what it means for Tennessee. We discussed earlier in the show. I think it appears there are probably several different splits. It's probably not just this way or that way, but several different splits and opinions of what you want, what will happen. We had the floor versus ceiling conversation earlier. I don't know exactly what it is, but if Tennessee gets Joey Aguilar back, I'm guessing the outside opinion, the national opinion, which may not be worth much, it's going to rise in terms of what Tennessee is capable of doing this season. There'll be more top 20 to top 25 talk for Tennessee preseason with Joey Aguilar versus if the conversation is about George McIntyre or Faison Brandon.
Yeah, for sure. Tennessee right now should not be ranked. And if they are ranked, it should be, between 22 and 25 in position to start a first-time starting quarterback with the defense last year that was the worst in the league. And you've added a lot of, defensive players. We don't know how they're going to perform, as well as adding a new defensive staff. So until they show what they can do and what they're going to do, then hey, you rank them, outside the top 25. But I do like the hire Tennessee made. Their corners coach with Derek Jones, someone that's been coaching for over 20-plus years, 25 years. There's a history between him and David Cutcliffe, and we know that history also includes, defensive coordinator Jim Knowles. And so this was a move that, when talking about it last Tuesday, okay, can Tennessee go and poach another coach from a college program at this stage of the game, almost in the middle of February? Well, the answer is yes, because they did it, and they did it with a guy with a lot of experience. So I do like the move, man. Really, really good move, and not surprising when you look at the ties and connections to Jim Knowles.
Yeah, from when you look at his resume and you consider what Tennessee needed, it makes a lot of sense to bring in Derek Jones. So they made that move to replace Michael Hunter, who left last week to go to the LA Rams. Hunter had been hired from Ohio State, so he goes to the Rams. So Hunter out to the NFL, Derek Jones in as the new cornerbacks coach for Tennessee. So that part taken care of with a few weeks to go until the start of spring practice. Josh Pate with his program rankings, not team rankings for this season, but he did his top 12 programs in the country in college football, and he said he used a rolling 3-year blend of on-field results, talent acquisition, resource pool, organizational stability and structure, and a slight look to the future. His number 1 program is Ohio State. Number 2 is Georgia. Number 3 is Indiana, which makes sense, but man, it's still, even seeing them win a national championship several weeks ago, that's something to look at with Indiana as the number 3 program in college football. In his top 12, he does have Tennessee at number 12. So among the top 12 current programs with a 3-year rolling blend of criteria, Josh Pate put Tennessee inside the top 12.
Is this the power rankings or is this a poll?
I think it's a rolling poll of power rankings.
Hey man, anytime you see a poll or ranking and you see that power T on it, man, it's always a good thing. But yeah, I think Tennessee has been between 10 and 15 for a while, and we're trying to do everything we can to elevate our status and be in that top 10 spot. But you got to win more games to be able to do that. But I think that's pretty fair. I do.
Yeah. And of course, Tennessee wants to rise. If you look at this ranking, you also want to avoid being caught by some programs that are behind. So, as an example, LSU's not on this list and shouldn't be based on this criteria that he's pointing to. But we know about the potential to LSU. Oklahoma's not on this list, and I don't think should be. But Oklahoma this past season, in just the 2025 season, did pass Tennessee. So they're probably right outside that top 12. So you're trying to avoid those programs and a few others as examples of catching up to where you are passing where you're trying to get to.
Yeah, you had a window. You had a window where a couple teams were struggling. LSU, they fired a coach. Brian Kelly didn't necessarily do what they thought he would do, and Florida was down. South Carolina was pretty much where they always been outside of Steve Spurrier. But you had a window. You got to make sure that some of the new hires in this conference, LSU and Florida, that you don't allow them to pass you up. A&M, they were supposed to have made their move when they hired Jimbo Fisher, a proven national champion. It didn't work out. Echo comes in, and look what he did in year two there, taking his team to the playoffs. So, this is a very pivotal moment for Tennessee football. Our program having a chance to take a step forward, be in the top 10. But there's some programs right now that's trying to figure it out after looking in the mirror and trying to fix some mistakes they've made in the past. They're trying to figure it out, and we can't let them pass us up.
I'll read off the top 12 to you, by the way. Tell me if you have an issue with any that are inside the top 12. Again, Josh Pate's current top 12 programs in the country with a 3-year blend of criteria. Number 1, Ohio State. Number 2, Georgia. Number 3, Indiana. Number 4, Oregon. Number 5, Texas. Number 6, Notre Dame. Alabama is number 7. Number 8, Miami. Number 9, Texas A&M. Number 10, Michigan. Number 11, Texas Tech. Number 12, Tennessee.
Where's Texas? Number 5?
Texas is number 5.
They're recruiting. They did go to the playoffs two years in a row, besides this last year. Texas might be a little high.
See, to me, what stood out is after you get past the top 3, you have a lot of programs that if you've been consistent, then you've got to rank high because, so many programs just haven't done that much. Michigan won that national title, but we've seen the drop off. Now you have a change in the head coaching position. They might rise back up. We know about the potential, but they're number 10 after winning the title a couple years ago. But number 5 is Texas, number 6 Notre Dame, number 7 Alabama. Miami jumped up this past year, but a year ago they were one of the really disappointing teams, missing out on the playoff. There's room to run way up to number 4, 5, 6 in this if you can put some things together.
How can you justify having Texas in front of Notre Dame and Miami? Notre Dame played for the national championship last year. Miami just played for the national championship.
I would say when you look at talent acquisition, resource pool, I don't know what his opinion is on slight look to the future, but I would say some of those aspects.
Dude, Miami, no one has struck gold more in the portal at the quarterback than Miami in the last 3 years. No one. Now, I get it. This is the first time they made the playoffs.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like it's going to slow down any. So, a little bit of this is looking into the future.
Maybe Miami's like Miami versus Alabama. Alabama's ahead of Miami. What's Bama done in the last couple of seasons where you would say, I mean, like the Saban year, that's got nothing to do with what
I don't
happens
think.
next.
Yeah, I think Bama's too high.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Bama's. I mean, Bama. I mean, what kind of run have they made in the last couple of years? I mean, you got Michigan number 10. I know what happened, this past year at Michigan and how they've fallen off. But man, they won a championship, and when they did win a championship, they knocked Alabama off in the semifinals and sent Nick Saban into retirement. So I think Bama's a little too high. I think anytime you have a program like Notre Dame that's been beating on the door the way they have the last 3 years, they played for a national championship, which was closer than what Texas was able to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I know Texas went out and got Cam Coleman, best receiver in the portal, but they have players leaving their programs too to go to other places. So yeah, they're getting players, but they're leaving. They're leaving as well too. I think being able to keep those guys on the roster is just as important as getting them. So I would probably have Texas behind Notre Dame. I would have Alabama behind Miami.
Josh Pate's top 12 current programs. He does have Tennessee, the 2026 program rankings inside the top 12 at number 12. 865-656-9900 to be part of the show. We have another 45 minutes to go. Jason Swain's here, VFL, former Tennessee wide receiver. I'm Josh Ward as we continue with today's show presented by Junk Be Gone on Josh and Swain. Thank you for being with us on Josh and Swain. Jason Swain here. I'm Josh Ward, presented by Junk Beyond. Swain, what is going on with your Kansas State Wildcats basketball program?
Time to get the power towels back out. Remember that back in the day? Coach Prince?
Yeah.
I think that was 2011 or somewhere around there. But, Kansas State, they trying to be slick.
So Kansas State fired men's basketball coach Jerome Tang last night. And what's interesting is they fired him for cause. Now, many are arguing it's because they don't want him coaching the team anymore.
Well, that's why they fired him, right?
That's right. But
that's what you do.
The basis for the for-cause, ESPN said the basis for the for-cause firing is language in Tang's contract that references any activity that brings, quote, public disrepute, embarrassment, ridicule to Kansas State. The AD, Gene Taylor, said in a statement, this was a decision that was made in the best interest of our university and men's basketball program. Recent public comments and conduct, in addition to the program's overall direction, have not aligned with K-State standards for supporting student athletes and representing the university. We wish Coach Tang and his family all the best moving forward. He signed a contract extension. Yeah, I love that last part. He signed a contract extension through the 29-30 season. He still has $18.67 million remaining on the deal. But last week, he lashed out at his players following a blowout home loss to Cincinnati. And I imagine that's part of what Kansas State is claiming is in the violation of the clause keeping him from embarrassing or ridiculing or bringing ridicule to the program.
He deserved to be fired. My gosh. They stink. They are 1-11 in conference play. 10-15 on the year. I mean, they lost 6 in a row. Before that, they won 1 game against Utah. And then before that game against Utah, they lost 5 in a row. So, he deserved to be fired. He does not deserve to be fired for cause. How can you wish Jerome Tang and his family the best after trying to take his money away that he's rightfully owed?
Yep.
Like, I get Tennessee firing Jeremy Pruitt for cause. I get it. Because the dude broke the rules. He broke the rules. Tang just lit up his team for being an embarrassment and not playing for the logo on the front of the jersey. And I don't know why you would think this would be a good idea, Kansas State. You have to hire another basketball coach. What basketball coach wants to step into this mess? Now, you're going to pay him. I get it. I understand. But, my gosh, this is a really, really bad move. Pay him his money that he's owed. Move on.
After they got beaten by Cincinnati, the comments he made that went viral included him saying, "These dudes do not deserve to wear this uniform. There will be very few of them in it next year. I'm embarrassed for the university. I'm embarrassed for our fans, our student section. It's ridiculous. I have no answer, no words." So on Saturday, they played in jerseys without the names on the back of their jerseys.
I mean, the dude is trying to hold the players accountable for playing the right way for the logo on the front of the uniforms. Like, he's trying to uphold the standard. And you fire him and treat him this way? Again, he deserved to be fired. When, I mean, you could have waited to the end of the season. You could have fired him now, whatever. He deserved to be fired. He doesn't deserve this treatment, though.
Correct. I'm certain he will fight this, and I hope that he wins.
Yeah, he needs to win. Like, any activities that bring public ridicule and embarrassment. The last 2 months of basketball they've played has been embarrassing.
Yeah.
Not because of Tang's comments. It's because of how his team has played. PJ Haggerty on that team used to play at Memphis. Got a big old bag. And that's been the problem. They have paid couple players in the last 2 or 3 years a lot of money, and they haven't
Yeah.
got much return in terms of wins. That's the issue.
Yeah, last year they went out and paid a big sum to the player from Illinois. Remember, he
Yeah,
had
over
the
2 mil.
yeah, and remember late in the season when things went south, he met with the media and he was emotional, talking about just everything that came with that. It's a pretty tough scene.
Yep. I remember that. Yep, I remember that. So this is not the way to handle it. Like if you have a coach that's engaging in activities like Sharon Moore, okay, you fire him for cause. He's breaking the rules, okay, you fire him for cause. But because he lit his team up the way that Kim Caldwell lit her team up, the way that the Texas coach lit his team up, you don't fire coach for saying that. Or Mick Cronin has said some of the same things. This is a bad
Mick
look.
Cronin.
No one hates this team more than Mick Cronin. He hates his team. But
By the way, we've been talking about precedents, with the Aguilar case. There are probably some athletic directors out there that are watching this one like, whoa, can we do this? UCLA might want to get out of the Mick Cronin contract.
Yeah, this is not right, man. This is not right at all.
Yeah. They're not going to win in the court of public opinion, I wouldn't think.
Oh, they're getting crushed. They are getting crushed right now in the media, as they should.
Bruce texted in and asked, do you think Doug Gottlieb needs less caffeine? He had quite a rant about officiating, wants more fair officiating in his press conference over the weekend.
A good rant from the coaches about officiating is always fun. It's always fun.
Yeah, he was fired up. He's done better with Green Bay this season. They're 15-13 overall.
What'd you say, Josh? What was the first part of that?
He's done better.
And he's 2 games over 500.
Yeah,
that means he really.
Green Bay last year they were 4-28. Swain.
I know.
That is a significant improvement.
I know. I was about to say, if he's 2 games above 500, and you're saying he's done a better job, that means they were terrible the year before, and that's the case. Yeah, they're bad.
To answer the question, less caffeine? Yeah, maybe so. I could maybe use a little more, Swain, because last night I dreamed I was a muffler. I woke up this morning. I was exhausted.
Oh boy.
You like that one?
Yeah, like it's a good old mechanic joke, right?
Yeah, sure.
I'm sure all the mechanics in Knoxville are slapping their knees right now. Can't wait to steal that joke and say it in the shop tomorrow.
Trying to keep the engines revved up for another 30 minutes. We'll come back. We still have an attaboy to hand out, winners and losers from this past weekend, and still time for you to connect at 865-656-9900 as we continue on Josh and Swain. heard from people that were there. It's nice. So a lot of time and money was put into it, and the reviews have been good.
Yeah, I drove by there this morning, and oh my gosh, it's unbelievable where Tennessee baseball was and where it is now, and a lot of people take credit for baseball program being where it is, and the stadium being one of the best looking stadiums in this conference now. So that's amazing, man. Happy for a lot of people, man. Those Tennessee baseball fans out there that were loyal the whole time, man. This one's for you. I was during the break. I was looking at that Kansas State team from a couple of years ago,
Yeah.
2023, where the point guard was kind of fake arguing with his coach, and he throws a oop, and like that
Yeah.
run they went on, and coach dancing in the locker room after the game. Man, times change really quick when you don't win.
Yes, very quickly. Yeah, Noel, they had that small guard,
Yep,
Noel, who was
from the Jersey, New York area that
yeah.
played like an absolute beast. Was like Zakai Ziegler, small but can get a bucket, and was tenacious as all get out.
Now they're about to go to court to fight their coach over how much money they're going to pay him in his buyout,
Yeah,
unless they change course.
just not the best move, but we'll see how it works out for them.
Yep. Hey, we'll hand out an attaboy coming up in just a few minutes. We've covered a number of topics. This is from the end of last hour. We had this text. Let's face it, we were talking about the All-Star weekend in the NBA. The game yesterday, it was a round-robin game with the USA versus the world. That appeared to be a big hit. Dame Lillard got his third three-point contest win. That was favorably reviewed. The dunk contest, though, continues to have people asking, what's going on here? Should we continue this? Where are the stars? And we had this text, let's face an unavoidable fact. The old-school NBA stars like Jordan and Kobe and Dominique were not afraid to go against each other in a spirited dunk contest, whereas these modern-day players won't participate because they're afraid of losing and being clumsy doing it. Old-school NBA stars had confidence and bravado. Today's kids are just scared.
Yeah, they just don't have to, because then they understood how many opportunities were outside of the game for endorsement deals. But there's so much money being made, you don't have to do it to make that money. You're getting it anyway. So if you are getting it anyways, what's going to make you want to do more? The NBA was floating in danger zone because I've been watching Unrivaled, the women's league, and they play one-on-one, and whoever wins gets $200,000. Now I know that's chump change to, the NBA All-Star, the average NBA All-Star, but that is entertaining. That's what you want to see. But these guys probably too embarrassed to put themselves out there and go one-on-one in that type of setting where everyone is watching and everyone is seeing you lose. But yeah, I know.
Yeah, what I wouldn't say is I would not say that the old school NBA stars had confidence and bravado, and today's kids are just scared. Many of them are not kids, by the way, but
They got confidence too.
they've got plenty of confidence. It's just it's so different. The money part is the biggest. What they're able to make right now is wild, and so is it worth it to them? Obviously, the answer is no. They don't lack, I don't think, confidence in their game. I think they look at the dunk contest as something that's not worth doing anymore.
Well, they value, and I'll set this up by saying, I remember having a conversation with Don Connect, and I asked him, because we were at a TV station doing a TV show, and on the backdrop was a picture of him, about to dunk, and he wanted the picture to be of him shooting three-pointer. And so I remember asking him, I was like, hey man, if you can dunk and do this or shoot this three in this game, what would you want to do? He said, I want to shoot the three. The point of it is players value shooting three-pointers more than dunking. Like when you see a young man who is 6'8" go into the gym, the first thing he's doing is not dunking. The first thing he's doing is shooting a three. Like I
Yeah.
remember when I was coming up, man, dunking was a huge deal. Like slapping the backboard was a huge deal. Like, oh my God, you slapped the backboard. Oh man, you dunked. Now, man, it's about going going into the gym, opening up the door. First thing kids are doing is shooting a 3-point shot. So the 3-point shot is more valuable than dunking, and that's why you're not seeing those young men that have a chance to enter the 3-point contest. They would rather not. Like I heard Anthony Edwards talking about how he hates dunking because it hurts his hands. But it's the best way to finish at the basket without getting your shot blocked. So it's just the value of one play versus the other is not the same as it was 20, 25 years ago.
That's a very good point. The take over the 3-point shot and the value that's there. And that one, I don't think that comes with the risk. If you lose the 3-point contest, nobody's talking about it. And I'm going to hit enough. You're not going to embarrass yourself in a 3-point contest. So it's just things are a lot different. I would still love to see a star or a couple of stars, or they don't have to be stars, just players that are known. I mean, that's part of the issue. A lot of these guys, like Kashad Johnson, with all due respect to him, nobody knows who he is.
Yeah,
And
who's that?
so you don't have the value with it. But it's funny. I looked at the YouTube video on the NBA page, and this is a reminder where the NBA is a global brand. So on YouTube, 1.8 million views this morning on the dunk contest. So there will be more people that still watch. I looked at the 2025 MLB Home Run Derby, which I enjoy, and it has the star power, 850,000.
Yeah.
So it's the numbers there aren't close. So people after the fact are going to watch the dunk contest. Kids, I think, are still into it, and that's not even knowing who the players are. If you throw stars into it, I think it would be a big hit. And it's been a long time since the dunk contests of the 80s and 90s. Blake Griffin, he was a big star, number one pick, made it exciting. Dwight Howard, number one pick, all-star, made it exciting. Nate Robinson, he wasn't an all-star, but he was a well-known player. That made it interesting. Even Zach LaVine and Aaron Gordon, those were top 10 picks, made it exciting. Kashad Johnson, who's playing in the G League, Mac McClung playing in the G League, that's not going to bring the same level of excitement.
Hopefully someone comes along that's like, you know what, man, let me change this trend.
Yeah.
There's always someone that's zigging when everybody else is zagging. Hopefully that player says, you know what, man, I'm going to bring this dunk contest back. Because the opportunity that a player has to be the one who brought it back, LeBron gets a lot of blame for being the reason why it's gone away. And that blame is, I think, justified. But the opportunity to be the one who brings it back, man, that's a heck of an opportunity, I think, that someone hopefully takes advantage of in the near future.
Yeah, somebody that's been brought up, rookie VJ Edgecombe, he would be so much fun to watch, and people would know who he is. He's a young star in Philly, big market.
Yep.
That's probably where I would start the conversation. If you get one guy back in, maybe you get multiple. Before we get out this segment, let's hand out today's attaboy.
I just wanted to come by and congratulate you on the great work you've been doing.
I like your style. You remind me of a young me.
Failure is not an option.
That boy good.
Always remind yourself, nobody built like you. You design yourself. Attaboy.
So, Swain, this was quite a story over the weekend. Speaking of stars, this guy used to be a big-time rising star in the world of golf. His name is Anthony Kim. He was a big hit in the late 2000s, in the 2009, 2010 range. And then Jay Busby wrote a great story at Yahoo over the weekend. Jay does it all. He's covering the Olympics in Italy and still had time to write this story about Anthony Kim. So starring at the time included Ernie Els, Marco Mira, Craig Stadler. And it's been a long time. He had an Achilles injury, disappeared from the sport, came back, struggled through it over the weekend. So whatever argument, push that aside. Very cool. Anthony Kim, I can only imagine all that he went through over the last 15 years to win a tournament of any kind over the weekend. Had to mean the world to him.
Yeah. I mean, he learned a tough lesson with having success early as an athlete. He talked about how he's around bad people, some that was under his own roof. I mean, people that's close to you. People always point the finger at someone that's successful and becomes famous or makes a lot of change. The truth is, it's people around you that changes. They're the ones who change the most. And unfortunately, man, it affects the play of these athletes when the people around them change and act different and try to take advantage of them, and it's hard for most people to handle.
Back for the final segment of Josh and Swain. Thanks for being with us today. We'll be back tomorrow at 12 o'clock. We'll be at Ted Russell Lincoln. Look forward to seeing you out there on Kingston Pike. Swain will have the sleigh ride. 1 o'clock tomorrow. We'll have a full hour with VFL Ron Slay to talk about a big week coming up. Oklahoma at home, and then Tennessee will be in Slay's backyard on Saturday night taking on Vanderbilt.
Yeah, that's going to be a good one right there, man. A rivalry game with some ties with Jalen Carey being a former Vanderbilt player. We saw this past weekend how a foreign player playing against his old team can drum up some pretty strong emotions. We saw that in the St. John's Providence game. And Kim English, whew, he might be looking for a new job after this year because the Providence Flyers are not doing well. And I know that a lot of people are unhappy with his performance, but good to talk to Ron Slay tomorrow about the matchup, about what Tennessee needs to do in this one and beyond. Florida right now is playing like the best team in the SEC, but Tennessee still in the top 3 in the SEC and getting one of those top 4 seeds as we approach tournament time is going to be very, very important for that double bye. So got to get this one, man, especially against a in-state rival.
Yep. Ron Slade tomorrow, the sleigh ride for a full hour. He joins us each week thanks to Dead End Barbecue. We'll do so tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Before we go, we hit the power pole.
Captain, we're losing power in the warp engine.
Nuclear power plants.
What's up? I'm Kenny Powers.
Don't know the power, the dark side.
I have the power.
Great power comes great responsibility. Full power, Mr. Captain.
All righty, Swain, the weekend is behind us. A 3-day weekend for a lot of people, recognized with today's President's Day holiday. We have our winners and losers from the weekend.
Yeah, man, I got to go with the winners first, and that is about the NBA and the All-Star game. They've received a lot of criticism over the years. It's been justified, but they deserve credit for the new setup that produced some really good competition last night. Dame Lillard, 3-time three-point champion.
Game time, that's your guy, too.
That's one of my favorite players in the league. Craig Hodges did it with the Bulls, 3-time three-point champion, and then the great one did it with the Celtics as well. Michigan basketball ranked number 1 for the first time in 13 years. And then how about the women's hockey team? They beat down Sweden, shut them down, and they will play for gold up next. Losers include the Kansas State administration, athletic department for firing Jerome Tang and trying to fire him for cause. He deserved to be fired. He does not deserve the treatment of trying to get his money taken away from him and his family. And then the last loser is Providence's Duncan Powell. I mean, he's a player that had the hard foul on former Providence player Bryce Hopkins, and then even after that, late in the game, you had another player that pushed a St. John's player again while going for a layup, getting an and one. He was immediately ejected. So just the Providence locker room, how dirty they played. I thought it was pretty classless, and they deserve to be on the losers list.
Yeah, not good. My winners from the weekend, I've got Michigan as you had as well on your list. Michigan number 1. For a moment, I was like, it's not been 13 years. It was 2013. Then I realized that was 13 years ago. That's unbelievable. Number 4, South Carolina women, 18 straight now wins against LSU. Number 3, Dame time, Damian Lillard. Number 2, SEC softball. Lady Vols rise to number 1. According to Softball America, they are one of 7 SEC teams in the top 9. Conference is pretty strong there. Tyler Reddick winning the Daytona 500 I have at the top spot. Losers from the weekend, I have Arizona. It's in overtime. It's against a good Texas Tech team, but they entered the week without any losses. They ended the week with 2 losses. Then I had Providence number 2 and K-State with, I think, what will be extended PR loss. I put K-State number 1. You could go probably 1A, 1B with the losers from the weekend. That is the Power Poll winners and losers out of the weekend on the President's Day holiday. We'll be back tomorrow at 12 o'clock. Joel Silverberg, Viral Joel. That's going to be the new nickname, I think. Cool. Swain.
Trying to wake up and be like Joel Silverberg in the morning, hopefully.
Yeah, Joel, you said the video and the call on the Ice Bears social media channel?
Yeah, if you go to our Instagram or Facebook story, you can see the video from Friday's fight featuring Jimmy Soper there.
Follow the Ice Bears, support them. They went 3-0 this past weekend, and watch Jimmy Soper go belt to backside with SPHL Broadcaster of the Year, Joel Silverberg, on the call. Thank you for being with us today. We've had a lot of fun, and we will be back tomorrow Will there be news with Joey Aguilar? If there is, if there's not, we'll be talking about him. We'll be talking Tennessee sports. We'll talk to Ron Slay at 1 o'clock, and we will talk to you tomorrow at 12 o'clock. Every day we are presented by Junk Beyond, East Tennessee's junk removal specialist. See you tomorrow at noon on Josh and Swain.